Hello students, welcome to my class. Today we will see miscellaneous exercise of the chapter Relations and Functions of class 11. So we will start with the first question. The relation f is defined by f of x is equal to x square where 0 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 3. 3x where 3 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 10. The relation g is defined by g of x is equal to x square where 0 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 2, 3x where 2 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 10. Show that the function f is a function and g is not a function. So here in this question we are given two relations f and g. So f and g are two relations and we have to show that f is a function and g is not a function. So we will start with the first relation f of x. So f of x is equal to, it is defined as x square in the interval 0 to 3, closed interval 0 to 3 and 3x in the closed interval 3 to 10. So this is the relation f of x, that is if you take the number line from minus infinity to plus infinity, 0, 3 and 10. So from 0 to 3 this interval f of x is equal to x square and from 3 to 10 in this interval f of x is equal to 3x. Then we have to show that this relation is a function. So for that first we will take the value x is equal to 3. Actually if you see here in these two interval 3 is the common element. So we will take up when x is equal to 3 what is the value of f of x in the first interval function rule we will take. So f of x is equal to x square, that is 3 square is equal to 9. So when you have taken x is equal to 3, f of x you got as 9, that is the element of the relation f of x is 3, 9 at this point. Now again when we take x is equal to 3 we will consider the second rule, f of x is equal to 3x here also if you substitute x is equal to 3 we will get 9 only. That is in the second case also we are getting the ordered pair 3, 9, that is the same ordered pair we are getting. So you know that f is a definition of a function, no two ordered pair will have a same first element. So here in this case if you see we got the same ordered pair only. If we are having the second element different in this case then we can say that f is not a function. But in both the case we got the same ordered pair. So we can say that f is a function. So we can say that f is a function. Now the second one we will move to the second relation, that is g. So g of x is defined as set of all x square in the interval 0 to 2 and 3x where 2 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 10. So here we will take the value of x as 2 because 2 is in both the common element in both the interval. So we will take when x is equal to 2 we are going to find the value of gx. In the first case here 2 square, that is 4. So we are getting the ordered pair 2, 4. 2, 4 is an element of the relation g. Now the same value x is equal to 2 we will use the second condition, that is g of x is equal to 3 into 2. So this range, this interval only we are considering now. So 3 2s are 6. So here the ordered pair is 2, 6. So here if you see for the same first element we got two images, that is no to these two elements. Actually the relation has these two as the elements of the relation 2, 6 and 2, 4. So here if you see two ordered pair have a same first element, so it does not satisfy the property or the definition of a function. Therefore g is not a function. We can say that g is not a function. Now we will move on to the second question. So second question, f of x is equal to x square, find f of 1.1 minus f of 1 divided by 1.1 minus 1. So here this is a very simple question. Here f of x is equal to x square and we have to find the value of f of 1.1 minus f of 1 by 1.1 minus 1. Since f of x is equal to x square, what will be f of 1.1? 1.1 the whole square, because f of x is x square, no? So f of 1.1 will be 1.1 the whole square minus f of 1 will be 1 square divided by, here we will have the denominator, we will write as it is. Here in the numerator we will use a square minus b square identity. So we can write this as 1.1 plus 1 into 1.1 minus 1 divided by denominator 1.1 minus 1. Now we can, if you see here, these two will get cancelled. So now what is remaining? 1.1 plus 1. So the answer for this expression, this value of this one is 2.1. So now the third question. So question number 3, find the domain of the function f of x is equal to x square plus 2x plus 1 by x square minus 8x plus 12. So here we have a function, that is f of x. What type of a function? This is a rational function, because already we have discussed some special functions and their graph. In that, if a function is of the form p of x by q of x, we will call that function as a rational function. So the given function is a rational function. So f of x is equal to x square plus 2x plus 1 by x square minus 8x plus 12. So here we have to find the domain of this function. So what is domain? We have already discussed. Domain is the values of x at which the function is defined. So here if you see, the condition for a rational function is the denominator function should not be 0. So the same condition only here also. Here we have a denominator expression x square minus 8x plus 12. This should not be 0. So for the values at which this function is 0, on those values the function will not be defined. So what we have to find? For values of x at which this expression is 0. For that what we have to do? We will take this expression equal to 0. So we got a quadratic polynomial. We will factorize and we will find out the values of x. So here the product is 12 and the sum is minus 8. So the numbers are minus 6 and minus 2. We are using splitting the middle term method to factorize this quadratic polynomial. So x square, we got the numbers as minus 6 and minus 2. Using these two numbers, we are going to write the middle term. That is minus 6x minus 2x plus 12 is equal to 0. Now from the first two terms, we'll take x outside. So x minus 6. From the next two terms, we will take 2 outside. So you will get x minus 6. Now x minus 2 into x minus 6 is equal to 0, which implies x minus 2 equal to 0 or x minus 6 is equal to 0. We can equate each factor to 0. So what are the values of x here? X is equal to 2 or x is equal to 6. So if x is equal to 2, if you are substituting in the denominator expression, this denominator will become 0. Similarly, if you substitute x is equal to 6 in this expression, then the denominator will become 0. So for these two values of x will make the denominator 0. So the domain should not contain these two numbers. So here the domain will be, how to write the domain of a rational function is, domain is all the numbers, all the real numbers except 2 and 6 can be in the domain, can be the domain. So how to represent that? R minus 2 and 6 should not be there. So set to 6. So this is the domain of the given function. So this is how we have to find the domain of a rational function. So you have to equate the denominator to 0. You will get a quadratic polynomial and you have to factorize. You will get two values. If the denominator is linear, you will get one value for x. If it is a cubic polynomial, you will get 3 values for x. According to the polynomial, you will get the values for x then the domain will be R minus these two values, that is set to 2, 6. Now fourth question. Question number 4. Find the domain and the range of the real function f defined by f of x is equal to root of x minus 1. Here the function is root of x minus 1. It is a square root function. So we have already seen similar type question in exercise 2.3. If f of x should be a real number, this is a real function, so the expression inside the square root symbol should be greater than or equal to 0. If we are getting any negative number inside the square root, this f of x will not be a real number, or the function will not be a real function. So here the condition is x minus 1 should be greater than or equal to 0. Now adding 1 on the both the side of the inequality, that is x minus 1 plus 1 greater than or equal to 0 plus 1. Now we will simplify this. So x greater than or equal to 1. So the value of x is greater than or equal to 1. So for all the values of x greater than or equal to 1, the function will be a real function, or the function is defined. So below this range, that is below less than 1, the function is not a real function. So we got the domain now. So domain, we can write this as an interval. So you know that from minus infinity to plus infinity, 1 from x is greater than or equal to 1 means this is the interval actually from 1 to infinity. So this interval we will be representing as closed interval 1 to infinity. So the domain of the given function is closed interval 1 to infinity. Now we have to find the range of the function. So for finding range, I have already told we have a separate procedure for finding the range. First, you know that f of x is nothing but y. So we will take the given function as y is equal to root of x minus 1. Then from this expression, you have to find out the value of x in terms of y. So this is the procedure. So squaring on both the sides. To remove the square root, we will square on both the sides. So y square is equal to x minus 1. From that, what is the value of x? X is equal to y square plus 1. So we got the value of x as y square plus 1. Now we will use this condition. It is already we got the condition x should be greater than or equal to 1. So that condition we will use here. Here our x is y square plus 1. Therefore we can write y square plus 1 should be greater than or equal to 1. Reason x is greater than or equal to 1. We have this condition. So using this condition we can write y square plus 1 greater than or equal to 1. Now what we have to do? We will subtract 1 on both the side of the inequality. So y square plus 1 minus 1 greater than or equal to 1 minus 1. When you cancel this, you will get y square greater than or equal to 0, or we can write y is greater than or equal to 0. So actually the values of y will give us the range. So here the values of y is y should be greater than or equal to 0. Therefore we can write range is equal to closed interval 0 to infinity. So here y value can take from 0 to 0. This is 0. So from 0 to infinity. Y greater than or equal to 0 means this is the interval. So range will be closed interval 0 to infinity. Question number 5. Find the domain and the range of the real function f defined by f of x is equal to modulus x minus 1. So here the function is given function is a modulus function. So we have already discussed a modulus function. So here we have to find the domain and the range. So domain for a modulus function will be always R. Now what about the range? Set of real numbers. Now the range, if you see here, modulus function will give always a positive number, because whatever value you substitute in the place for x, even if you substitute negative value also, we will get the positive value only. By the definition of modulus function, f of x will be always always positive. That is, f of x will be greater than or equal to 0. That is, we can say that y will be greater than or equal to 0. So we can write range as closed interval 0 to infinity. That is, y value from 0 to infinity. So the range will be from closed interval 0 to infinity. So sixth question. Let f is equal to ordered pair x comma x square by 1 plus x square, where x belongs to R, be a function from R into R. Determine the range of f. So here in this question we have to find the range of f. The function is defined as x comma x square by 1 plus x square. Actually this is nothing but the second element is y. So we can take y is equal to x square by 1 plus x square. So for finding the value of range, first we have to take the second expression function as y, and you have to find out the value of x in terms of y. So we are going to do that now. Cross multiplication. So y into 1 plus x square is equal to x square. So y plus y x square is equal to x square. So the x square terms we will bring to one side. So x square minus y x square is equal to y. Now from these two we will take x square outside. So x square into 1 minus y is equal to y. So x square equal to y by 1 minus y. So this is the value of x square. From this we will find the value of x, that is root of y by 1 minus y. So we got the value of x in terms of y. Now you see here x is a real function. So since x is a real number, x is equal to root of y by 1 minus y. So this also should be a real number. Okay. So since x belongs to R, the expression, what expression we got for x now? Root of y by 1 minus R also a real number, should be a real number. So when this expression can be a real number, the expression inside the square root symbol should not be negative. That is, it should be positive, or we can say that y by 1 minus y should be greater than or equal to 0. In that condition only this square root will be a real number. So we will get here, we got here y by 1 minus y greater than or equal to 0 condition. Now from this condition we can take two cases. First case 1, we can take this expression equal to 0. So here what we got is this expression greater than or equal to 0. So case 1 we will take equal to 0, and for case 2 we will take a y by 1 minus y greater than 0. We will take these two conditions separately as case 1 and case 2. First case, if you see, when you cross multiply, what you are getting? Y is equal to 0 you are getting. Okay. So first case we are getting y is equal to 0. Or the second case, now we will see here second case, it is given that this function, this expression is greater than 0. When this expression can be greater than 0, two cases are possible. When both numerator and denominator are greater than 0, or numerator and denominator less than 0. In these two cases, when you simplify, this expression will be greater than 0. So first case we will take numerator is greater than 0 and denominator is also greater than 0. So here we got y equal to 0, and here this expression you multiply with a minus sign. So what you are getting is this minus y will become plus y minus 1 is less than 0, because when you multiply with a minus sign, the inequality sign will change. So you will get y minus y less than or equal to less than 0. Now what we have to do, you add 1 on both the sides. side, so you will get y minus 1 plus 1 less than 0 plus 1. So you are getting y less than 1. So here what we got is y greater than 0 and y less than 1. So we will combine these two conditions. So we can write 0 less than y less than 1. So case 2 we got case 1 we got y equal to 0, and case 2 we got 0 less than y less than 1. So combining these two conditions, we can write y equal to 0 and less than 0. So we can write 0 less than or equal to y less than 1. We are getting this. Now we will see the next possibility. Actually this is both the cases are positive. Both numerator and denominator positive. We got this condition. Now the second case also I said if y is less than 0, 1 minus y is also less than 0. If both numerator and denominator less than 0, what will happen? We will see now. Y less than 0, and this expression we will multiply with a minus sign. So y minus 1 greater than 0 you will get. Now you add 1 on both the sides. So y minus 1 plus 1 greater than 1. These two will get cancelled. So you will get y greater than 1. So the conditions, what are the conditions we got here? Y is less than 0 and y is greater than 1. Is it possible? These two conditions? No, this condition is not possible. That is why the second case we cannot choose. That is both the numerator and denominator cannot be negative, because what the condition obtaining, no, it is not possible. So we will take only this condition, the first case alone, this condition. So we got the value of y, that is 0 less than or equal to y less than 1. Therefore, our range, you know that range is the value of y. So range is equal to, how will you represent this as an interval? 0 less than or equal to. So closed interval 0, 1. Closed open interval 0, 1. So this is the range of the given function. So here we have completed 6 questions in miscellaneous exercise. So if you like my channel, you can share and subscribe. Your subscription, my motivation. Thank you, children.